Welcome back and welcome into Module 5. You are on your last lesson with me, Lesson 4 on authentic leadership in entrepreneurship. And I just want to say, so proud of you for working your way all the way through each lesson, each workbook, and you're finally on your last one, which is amazing to say the least. So, let's head into a big one as female entrepreneurs, learning about our leadership styles and how our emotional intelligence is only going to help us as we continue to grow. Okay, so the role of authentic leadership in driving success, anyway. Authentic leadership comes down to also being authoritative, us seeing these low points in our business as normal rather than any chance to quit or pivot. I cannot tell you how many times I have talked to clients who are seeing these kind of lower, they've had good 2 month, 3 month, now we're on our fourth month, fifth month. That 4 to 6 range of social media is tough, and they see the low points as this place to, oh no, let's rush. What should I do? What course should I grab? Should I start something else? Blah, blah, blah. I'm keen to this as well, especially almost coming into a year on social media with my business. Trust me, there are days where I am going back to my rushing and hustling self of, oh my word, what do I need to do next? I've just had a low growth, a low monetary wins on social media this last month. So now what do I need to do? I need to rush. I want to write out my book. I need to make another product. I need to maybe buy another course to sell in the resale rights community. The list goes on. I've been there. However, that is me rushing through this future anxiety of my business instead of actually reflecting on what has happened these last 9 months for me. And so, same goes for you. We tend to quit and pivot too soon before we can ever reap the harvests of the gardening that we've done. We can't reap these benefits until we stay put long enough and actually ask ourselves in these slow months, well, let me reflect on what I've done. Am I proud of what I've done? Am I proud of what I've sold? Is this just a time for me to work on and refine the things I already have? We need refine our messaging, refine our store suites. Is this time for me to refine myself in this slow growth season? Then I can reap the benefits of this work I've already put in instead of rushing to something before anything that we've actually done gets good. So this also comes down to being in a community of people where we can share our ideas, share our concerns, share anytime we might feel like we want to pivot. We share these things and then they can encourage our thinking or help us and hold us into this form of accountability, which is also why we really work on having a community of people to hold us accountable to this as well. So, leaders will always offer authentic transparency so that we can form this engaged community of people who are committed to us. Then that engaged community of people who see our leadership, who see our transparency, and who work hard to do these things that maybe we've tailored to them, these certain strategies to receive growth themselves. Because once we're a leader of an engaged community, we've stepped into this authoritative role. We're sharing our strategies, we're sharing truths that we've done to seed growth, to cultivate a mindset. Anytime they win, with something we've given them or something we've told them, then that win becomes our own success. And we need to start seeing it as that, as these social proofs to the things that we've learned and we've given them. And we need to start sharing them as our successes as well. That's only going to build us up even more as a formidable opponent to other people, is the testimonials and the social proof that we have and are willing to share. So we recognize leaders who are authoritative and who are built on authenticity. Recognize that the end result is just the end result, but the success lies in the journey. Because we recognize that hyper vigilant people, hyper independent people who do not form communities, who do pivot too fast, who see the end result as the only achievement that they need to reach, are stuck in an imposter mindset and know that the hypervigilance comes from a trauma response of certain childhood experiences in college, something they've been told once around the end result or around this higher success as being the only success in our lives instead of the people who we are working to be. Leaders who are authentic enough and transparent enough recognize that that's not a good thing. Being hyper vigilant and being hyper independent to only achieve things that are monetary or numerical or held in this social standard, recognize that that's not something that's going to benefit me or my business for the long run. Okay. So then, as we head into these different types of leadership, through our authenticity, we can recognize that certain types of these leaderships work better for social media, and they work more beneficial for us as people who might have a certain persona of imposter syndrome or a certain personality. For example, if I like to think of myself as a soloist and perfectionist imposter persona. So, excuse me. I work very hard to address those things because that comes from my future angst. So I am a very delicative leader. Okay. I see myself as this transformative and delicative leader. That's just who I am because I like to have control, but I also like to serve. And I work very hard to make sure that my past or tone or energy forms this transformation enough that other people can see that that's also what they desire. So the first one here being that transformational. Leaders who set a transparent, compelling vision for people, and they use this inspiration and motivation to build that person up so that that consumer can also see this outcome. This is a great leadership for people who are offering mentorship or coaching programs, because we want, through desire marketing or attraction marketing, we want our consumer to know and to feel inspired or motivated enough to see this vision. It's almost like if you were a contractor, right? And you go into, or interior design, and you go into, and all you see is the sticks and all you see is the frame of the house. And the person buying it is like, oh my word, I just see money. I just see a bunch of wood. Like, I don't see my open concept living room that I wanted so badly. I don't see my master bedroom with the stone tub or something that I wanted so badly. No, instead of the interior designer can see the framework, and instead work through, and the realtors too, work through with this consumer. What do you mean? It's right in front of your eyes. Here, let me show you. This becomes that. Just picture this, imagine that, and they form a desire for their consumer to also want that compelling vision of, okay, well, yeah, no, I see it. Take all my money. I want what you have painted out for me. So that's our transformational leaders. And you can also tailor and pair different leaderships together to work through. And this doesn't always have to go with just a mentorship or a coaching program. It can just be you yourself working on how to hone in on your leadership so that we can start to sell more effectively. Then you have your delegative leaders. These are leaders that will entrust certain tasks to other people and rely on like self motivation for other people. So they believe on employee autonomy. If you are in healthcare, you know autonomy is, the whole my body, my decision, my body, my choice. Um, Obviously that's tailored for certain things, but that's what it comes down to, is you always have the right to say yes or no. So if I'm talking to my mentees and my clients and I'm forming this image for them to want or desire this certain vision for their business, I'm also going to tailor a strategy that they should do. And I don't like to use ultimatums. So my coaching program is built on delegative guidance, where I'm not holding your hand. I'm giving you this autonomy to choose what you'd like to do, but I'm telling you, based on my own experience, this has worked for me. So you need to determine if that's going to work for you. So I'm putting the autonomy back into my clients' hands, but I'm motivating them also to know that this is my experience with that. And this is the experience that you could receive or see as well. So that's what I'm doing with the delegative leadership. Then you have transactional leadership. I don't necessarily find that this is the best one for social media because it's very corporate. It relies on incentives. So do this and you'll receive that. You know, that's very much transactional, is very much paired into educational content. It's very much paired into the guarantees of social media. Oh, if you just buy this course and you'll see those 10K months, it's very much built on you incentivizing and cold messaging. They're often related, but you're incentivizing this consumer that you're talking to say, oh, well, if you buy my course, I'm going to give you free mentorship. But people see free, but they don't necessarily see the details behind certain things. So I don't think that transactional pairs well with authentically building a business. Then you have democratic leadership. These are the leaders that want to collaborate, but they also see their team members or like their clients' input as important and valuable. And that's true. But this democratic leadership is also done well with market research. I am using my market research. I'm using my consumer and engaged community that I've built, and I want to know their input. I'm going to collaborate with them on my own product development and my own decisions on certain products that I want in my suite and what I have to offer. If I think I could map out this in my mentorship or this in my call or give away this in my product or these are the modules in my product, right? I might share that and say, what do you guys think about this? Is this something that you'd like to see from my brand on social media? And we're valuing their input, right? Then you have the servant. Now, the servant leadership very much values the team members, values their consumers, but they value it more than what they have to say. They value their opinions more than what they experience or what their opinions might be. This is very much serving. Now, when you're a small account, I do agree that service over sales is like your only thing that's going to build your business up and having that mindset of service over sales. However, the servant, I don't necessarily think is tailored well with building authentically on social media because it's very much just service. So it's very much just give away free value, act like you are the only thing instead of acting like you're the only thing that's going to help people, I'm instead just going to give away my services and my time for free. I'm going to experience this hustle culture burnout because I'm just asking people what they want to see. Oh, if they ask me a question, I'm going to just give them my time. I don't see my own opinions and my own time as valuable or worthy enough. Instead, I'm just going to people please and offer everything to these people. Now, there's a balance. Do I still need to be someone who is willing to serve to my consumer base so that I can scale and revenue? Of course. Of course. But I'm also not going to people please enough to only be a servant and then drop everything to answer certain people's things for free. No, that doesn't give me any boundaries. It doesn't treat my page like it's mine because I'm dropping everything for everyone else and I'm not creating a time frame of what they should work in, ask certain questions. Oh, I'm only available this, that, and whatever. Because again, this is a business. It's something that you need to moderate, something you need to build boundaries around to protect yourself, right? Then you have a big one that everyone talks about a lot. That's our authoritative leadership. These guys, my authoritative leaders, do well on social media because they have a shared goal to get somewhere and inspire confidence within their team. So again, just like the transformational, the only difference is I'm still setting a compelling vision for my consumers' outcome and I'm still giving them clear direction of what they'd like to see. But the authoritative leaders do a tiny bit more of accountability and push and shove. The transformational leaders are very supportive, very caring. I'm just going to motivate you. You got this. But my authoritative leaders are like, hello, look, I'm going to say this with love. I'm going to say this with accountability. Stop doing that. Stop doing that. That's selfish. It's only benefiting you. If we have this compelling vision of something, I know you can get there, but I'm telling you right now, you'll need to do this, that, and whatever. Or you should be doing this, that, or whatever. Or look at last time you did do that and look how well it's doing. But for some reason we've altered that. And I'd like to know why, or I'd like to talk through why, because we have this goal for you to get somewhere, right? So they are very much built on accountability and are built on valuing through confidence instead of just motivating and inspiring. So to lead with that authenticity and to lead with that integrity, to be that delegative or transformative or authoritative leader, you need to see yourself as such. And we need to be able to demonstrate our integrity as leaders through our actions on social media. And when it's on social media, this comes down to how I'm talking to people, how I'm messaging, what my content looks like, obviously, right? So then, with integrity, we need to be honest and we need to be accountable. We need to guide truthfully. This comes back to those ethical practices that we talk so much about, and admit and hold our own selves accountable when we might have taken mishap at certain times, because that's going to hold me as the leader. Instead, I don't want to be arrogant and say I never make any mistakes, I never look at myself wrong, whatever. I need to be accountable enough on myself if I'm willing to hold accountability to other people. That's just how it goes. Then you have consistency. Integrity often goes hand in hand with consistency. Now, consistency on social media looks a lot like pushing through the bad days, making sure that I'm consistently posting quality and relatable content. And it's not just, oh, I've checked my list of my checklist of I just posted 2 reels and I just posted 5 stories. So I'm good for the day. Instead, I did literally nothing on consistently building relationship on social media. Instead, I've just formed a checklist of what I'm supposed to do and expect other people to message me or DM me and automatically want what I have. And that's not the consistency that we want to build with an authentic business. Okay, then lastly, we have building trust. And as female entrepreneurs, I'm incredibly passionate about this because female entrepreneurs have the automatic, I mean, this could obviously hurt us, but we have this automatic ability to form desire instead of materializing, because we do very well with emotional intelligence. Most females tailor a lot to the desire and the feeling based of the stats of something. And so instead we can really work well on painting a vision for people, because again, we can tailor it far easier into empathy and into catering our consumers' emotions, right? But in order to do that, we have to also cater our own honesty and empathy over our own business and for ourselves. So sharing the as many of the bad days as we can as the good as well. That's going to cater to our consumers' emotions and their feelings toward us. Winning them over with empathy instead of materialization. We don't care about the product. Look, yes, I care about how and the product is macked up. I care about if it's worth what people are asking. However, I care more about the feelings and the experiences tailored into that product. That's what I care most about. So that is our job as entrepreneurs, is to cater into this empathetic realm of feelings and experiences tied to a product instead of just mapping out what's in the product, right? But I will say that this also comes down to the number one thing that holds females back on building a business is the act of balancing. A lot of us have other jobs. A lot of us are moms. A lot of us are wives. A lot of us are doing other things outside of here. And a lot of the times this comes down to compartmentalizing on social media. And I will say it is hard for women because we are tailored in to our emotions. We are tailored intelligent, emotionally intelligent toward ourselves as well, and how we feel and our ability to achieve certain things and the expectations in the back of our heads and who we are. So that's also why it's incredibly important for us to work on our acts of balancing, how often we're on social media, the breaks we're taking, whether or not we're working inwardly on ourselves to build confidence in ourselves to then drive it into our consumer. That's a balancing act. And for women, it is hard. We tend to hustle in both directions instead of actually working on moderating the two to coincide and live together and mesh. And so balancing your personal life with your digital one is hard, but we need to mesh those together and balance them as one instead of two separate extremes, right? So Long lesson, but so glad you made it all the way through with me. That was a big one on integrity and authenticity. As female entrepreneurs, you have a gift to be here online. You already have a seat at the table on social media. Social media is just going to continue to grow and expand as satellite TV and streamlined TV and film are just going down as the new generations arise. And it's even more important to be adaptable to the technology and the social media as we continue to grow, but to not also lose ourselves and our voice that we've also worked so hard, or we should be working hard to maintain and build. So let's end up with this, head into our last lesson book in Module 5 and in the course in general on making sure as you can, as a female entrepreneur, build trust and credibility and certain strategies you can tailor to yourself so that we can do those first and then tailor them into our consumer. And then head into the next module, which just shows you, thanks you that you made it through with us. Thank you for buying, turning worth into wealth, and working your way. And through that, we are incredibly just in awe of you and just filled with gratitude and thankfulness as you've put your trust in us as female entrepreneurs in the social media world, and then also how you can work your way into marketing this and building that through an affiliate link and commission if you so choose. All right, let's end up here. Thanks, guys.